tissue. Alright, I can see me now. Loud and clear. Right. Hello guys, film host, welcome. Niko na mafua, niko na homa kidogo, but you know what, lazima tusukume, lazima tuongee, lazima to represent. Yeah. This is Mr. B 2254 is my country, Kenya. And I want to welcome all of you to my life and my people from South Africa, my people from states, feel most welcome. Tanzanians, people from Tanzania, feel most welcome. My people from Nigeria, Congo, India, Kenya, my lovely country, thank you so much for always having me as your son, and you watch my videos. I really appreciate that. That's true love. Yeah, for those who truly love me, you can also make sure you give a thumbs up for this show from wherever you're watching from. And today we are very sad because of maisha imekuwa ngumu, high cost of living. And I don't know why we must speak about this, but we have to speak about it anyway, because this is not the very first time. It is not the first time we are complaining about high cost of living, and this high cost of living is caused by who? Politicians. Yeah. All of my guys, feel most welcome. Hi to you. Hope you're good wherever you are watching me from. Yeah, thank you so much and feel most welcome. So today in Kenya, it's a sad Monday that there was no vehicle in the morning. There was no movement all the way from the morning. Hakukuwa na kutembea. Most areas in Nairobi, there was no movement. Yeah, reason being, diesel 242.90 diesel, petrol 214 somewhere 05, something like that. And do you know that is not even the problem? That's not the problem. The biggest problem is that all along this time, the first term of our excellence, it has been really very tough. Masoko zinabomolewa, mabiashara zinaisha, vitu zinakuwa ngumu. You see, now the biggest blunder is that wasafiri cannot afford, the travelers, the passengers, the citizens hawezi waka afford, though hakuna pesa, hakuna do ya kulipa fare. Mahali mtu alikuwa anapanda na 50, kwanza leo asubuhi amepanda na 150,
200
from Dandora to CBD 200 from Kayole, there was no movement.
Gari ziligoma kabisa.
Yeah.
Nilisikia wenye wali manage kupata gari asubuhi walikuwa wanalipa
200 kama una manage kupata gari from Kayole to town.
Unaambia ni 200, utalipa fare, ni kukula.
Ukienda kwa biashara hakuna mtu huko, hakuna customers wanakuja kubuy your product. High cost of living. Vijana hawana kazi. Honestly speaking. Sijui kama
So you better start with yourself.
Buda amekumbuka kunipigia simu la. Sijui kama umenotice Wambu. Niko umenotice kwamba siku hizi mikoko imekuwa mingi sana. Beba wamekuwa wengi sana. Watu wa kuhok wamekuwa wengi zaidi. Watu wa hawkers wamekuwa wengi. Beba wamekuwa wengi. Mikoko ina cause jam kwa barabara. My friends, hey. It's not fair, man. It's not fair. Yeah. Life expectancy very expensive. Very expensive. Yeah. People cannot afford fare. 30 bob from where? 30 bob from Salem to town. 30 bob. They cannot afford. 40 bob, 50 bob. It is expensive. They are crying. People are walking. I am a driver. And we can see that they are walking. They are walking. Yeah. The reason being is that there is no business going on. Masoko zimebomolewa. Masoko zimebomolewa. Zingine zinakuwa constructed. Manyumba zimebomolewa. People are moving from place to place. From place to place. Place to place. You are using money. Biashara kwenye ulikuwa unafanyia kumebomolewa. My youth wako desperate. Trust me you. Aki walai. Unafikiria honga. Boda muoi. Unaoa nani? Unaoa kwa aje? Utaoa aje? Yeah? Bwana, nyumba ni expensive. Nyumba. Hey.
Sasa pige hesabu ya nyumba, bibi, watoto watatu.
Nyumba yenye ilikuwa inarentishwa 3,000. Saa hii ni 5,000. 5,000. Who will afford 5,000 in Nairobi? Okay, we can afford, but the problem is, where is the business? Where are the customers? Do you realize that nowadays most people are business? Everybody is trying to do business. Yeah? And the business is not thriving. So who will you sell to if all of you munauzanga viatu? Kila mtu ameinuka anauza viatu. So who is going to sell to who? Who is going to sell to where? Ukiangalia the faces of the young people. Look at the faces of the young people. They might be smiling. Faces of young people, they might be smiling. Kiwaangalia, they smile, they laugh. You think they are good, but they are not good.
We are not good.
They are not good. Depression. Heart attack. Young people are committing suicide. And the leaders are telling us, you are the future leaders. Who? How? How am I a future leader? You don't give me hope. Umeninyanganya opportunity. You are a future leader. You have immobilized the opportunities. Utanisumbua pia wewe. Immobilize the opportunity. Take over, take nyara kila kitu. Alafu mnasema young people are the future leaders. Logically thinking, how are the young people? Me, how will I be a future leader? I'm struggling right now. Just to raise the rent. How will I be a future leader? When? Where? With who? By who? How is that going to happen? Kijana amejaribu kungangana kutafuta opportunity, amekosa, amerudi kwa mkoko.
Sasa atafanya aje?
Sasa ni lini atakuwa kiongozi? So sad. So sad. Hello, Sukumatra. Hello, how are you, sir? Is a lady? Yeah. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm fine, from Kenya. Where are you from? Where are you from? I want to know where you're coming from. I feel most welcome. Babu, what do you say about the cost of living in the country, in this country, Kenya?
Mimi kwenye naweza sema, I think generation yetu we are.
Wow, somebody from Indonesia. I feel most welcome. Feel most, I love you already. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. In the future, God willing, I want to travel to Indonesia and meet my viewers, meet my people. I have connections. I need friends from Indonesia. Nice to meet you. Let's listen from this.
The current generation, we are very unlucky. The reason being, it's so hard to make a life for yourself. Very hard. Our parents hawana support ya kutupatia. The government hakuna sasa kitu inaweza tupatia. So unapata tunakuwa wakubwa only to find nothing. So we are so desperate trying to create something out of nothing.
Nowhere. Out of
nowhere. Unapata. So life is very hard, and I don't know what I can say. Fuel is expensive, clothing is expensive, food is expensive.
Opportunities ziko kidogo, tunang'ang'ania opportunity kidogo.
Opportunities ziko kidogo, mpaka hizo opportunities zenyewe hizo kidogo kupata
tena ni
ngumu. You see, so it is very very hard. Mimi sijui tutamalizia wapi, sijui. I don't know how we are going to be successful people. I don't know. Kwa sababu unakaa unajaribu unapanga and ukweli unajituma kufanya hiyo kitu. You find taxes are very expensive. Unapata fare ni expensive, rent ni expensive. Yani kila kitu inakuzidi.
Very expensive.
Unapata. Yeah. So at the final end unapata tu you can manage to kulipa rent kako ka 5,000, kukula chakula ugali na mboga. Si kitu expensive na kuvaa nguo za Gikomba.
So what the future leaders then?
I don't think this generation we have a leader. We are stressed.
We are depressed. We are disparate.
Jamani.
And who is making us disparate?
The government.
The government. The parents.
The parents, number 2. Hey.
Yeah.
The church.
What?
Education systems zenye tulisoma. Oi.
A youth akijaribu kufanya kitu, when a youth tries to do something, young person trying to do something, the government is on your neck. Do you have insurance? Do you have a permit? Do you have the recommendation? Do you have a lot of nonsense going on? A lot of
obstacles.
See, when you try to do something to rise, obstacles on the way. Thieves are on your neck, destroying your business. How are we going? How can we then make the future leaders? Where are they going to come from? Kenyans. You see, at times, and I want to make this statement before I forget. Today, being a Monday, on the 18th on Monday, there's a strike in Kenya. There's a strike in our country, and the strike is basically about 1, high cost of living, 2, fuel prices going high, which is directly affecting the economy of the country, and which will directly affect our livelihood. Like how we buy every item in Kenya must rise its prices. The prices of most items will go higher because if it is mboga lazima utoe ushago ndio ulete wapi? Nairobi. And the fuel prices are high, which means the car making it possible, those vegetables coming from Ushago to Nairobi must do what? Be very expensive as well. Yeah. You understand? So there's a strike in Kenya. There's no movement. Vehicles are at their parking lot. Yeah. And we're asking the government. We are asking the government and the associates and the people, the people concerned about these fuel prices, about petrol and diesel. We are asking, and I want to remind the leaders to know that we are the people you are leading. We are the voice. We are the people you are representing. And something you need to know is that you have to listen to the people you are representing, or else you will represent your own views. Nora, you will find yourself representing your own views. What are the people you are representing saying? What do they want? Are you able to satisfy? Are you able to deliver the needs of the people you are representing as a leader? Is it a must that we have to get ourselves in the streets so that we can listen to our grievances, and so you can listen to what we are saying? You see, when you see a mother is crying, and mothers and fathers, they need our protection. Young people, hope. Where is hope? You are hopeless. Are you happy? Like, sometimes Jesus, leaders, are you really doing according to what we want as the citizens? Our constitution says that the supremacy, the people has power, or the sovereign power belongs to the people. So how is the sovereign power, how do we exercise our sovereignty? When we speak, you don't listen. When we ask, you don't deliver. When the young people are dying, you don't do anything. Lands are grabbed, you don't do anything. Fuel prices going high, nobody is saying anything. Then who are you representing? Who are you representing? Whose voices are you speaking? The leaders concerned. Will you deliver? Will you deliver? Will you be able to just calm down? Calm down. It is not, I don't think if it is a must that we have to go on the streets ndio sauti zetu zisikike. Hapana. It's not a must. It's not a must that we must throng ourselves in the streets, riot, destroy properties for you to listen to us. I don't think if that is necessary. You need to know how things are going. You need to aid these people. The people you are leading are depressed. And the way you have put your blocks, it really indicates that it's very difficult for a poor person to rise all the way to the top unless they become puppets and you cheat them with the salaries. At the end of the day, they still remain poor. They go home having nothing, having kept nothing, having saved nothing. They still go home with their tattered, if not clothes, their hearts and the heads are tattered, having nothing. So, the people of the Republic of Kenya are pleading to the government, the people concerned, will you please consider, will you please calm down and let us reason together? Is it possible that you can calm down and let us negotiate this business together? Is it possible that we can come together, talk about this idea, talk about the development of a nation, and ask yourself if building houses is necessary, roads are necessary. What is this that's supposed to come first, then the second? You see, we need to improve this country by having beautiful structures. But what about the people? Having depressed people with beautiful houses? I don't think that makes sense. I don't think if that is making sense. Ladies and gentlemen, We cannot have beautiful, you cannot live in a beautiful house, a serene place, and you're mad, and your brain cannot properly function. Let's make money, brother. Tell me how to make money. Scene folder. Money doesn't care about depressed people, brother. Okay, that's a good idea. Money doesn't care about depressed people. Money cares about those who are looking after it or something. Money cares about who, brother? Sin. Money cares about who? I think it's very interesting having these people. Sin feel most welcome. Money cares about those who have it. Okay? I think there's a narrative that is being changed here as we speak. and I think I need to listen to my brother here. He's saying, let's make money, bro. Money doesn't care about depressed people. That's a fact. I can approve that. That's a fact. Money doesn't care about you are depressed or not depressed. Money doesn't care about that. Yeah. You are depressed, shauri yako. Yeah. Money doesn't care. Money follows the rules. That's true. Money follows the rules. Yeah. You need to understand the rules of money. Yeah. But in this case, I'm talking about now in our country where we are having people stressed, depressed, and this depression is about you are doing business, like people make money out of people's misery in certain circumstances. So money doesn't care. That's very true. I concur with you 100%. You make money out of depressed people. That is very true. And of course I can relate these stories, even how our colonizers did. Yeah, and even how churches function. You sell hope, and the people you are selling hope to, they exchange it with money. They give you money and then you give them hope. Yeah. So they keep hoping that somehow God is blessing them. And the pastor is receiving money. And that's okay. We need to rise up against the rich people. We need to rise up against the rich people. Why should we rise against the rich people? Listen, why should we rise against the rich people? Because they understand the game of money, or because they are the ones causing depression to the poor people. When we say poor people, we say not being able to understand the rules and the games they play. Let me get it. And take it all of them. Elon Musk and people making others miserable. We have like Bill Gates. I'm sorry to say this live, but I saw it somewhere. A group of people in the United States. They were making very serious statement. I think is a clip of somewhere long time, 2020, 2019, 2010, somewhere there. And the clip is there. If you want to can also search it on is it on YouTube? I just met it. I don't know where, but somebody shared the clip to me, and they said this. They were discussing how can we keep the sub-Saharan countries, that is basically Africa. How can we keep the Africans poor? How can we keep these the Africans poor? And one of the discussions that were on the table, they said we have to plant more churches in Africa. Yeah, because if Africans realize the potential that they have, the minerals, the diamonds, the gold, the silver, all the precious resources that we have, if Africans realize the value of their soil, then Europe will be poor. Even China will be poor. Those so-called developed countries will go poor. So the only way we can keep them down, education, we have to determine what they study in school. We have to determine what they are taught in churches. Plant more NGOs in Africa. Have more charity. Why? Keep them low. And I watched the clip more than 10 times. I was asking myself, why? Why should somebody plan evil against Africans? What wrong have we done to these people? Another statement came. There was a very serious discussion in a certain podcast, and they were saying, this is because of sin. I am in the UK and we are turning into an authoritarian state. Poor are getting poorer. Children suffering and old people neglected. You understand that? Yeah? In the UK, United Kingdom, the leadership is turning into dictatorship, kind of. And poor getting poorer. Children suffering and old people are getting neglected. Nobody cares about you. You are old. Nobody knows you. You are neglected. You see, so it means at a certain age, you have high risk. When you are old, you have a high risk of dying, because nobody cares. No government cares. Everybody's chasing something, chasing money, not caring about the people. Oh, thank you so much, Scene, for sharing this. I think I love that one. What you're sharing is really touching. Thank you so much. So, as I was sharing, there was also a very intriguing discussion that I listened to. There was a podcast, and rich people were hosted in that very podcast. And there's a very drastic statement that somebody made in that very podcast, and they said, we have to reduce the population of Africa. Africa is about 1.1 billion people currently, and the discussion that was made is that we have to reduce these people by 300,000. So we have to kill about 300,000 people. So what was the reason behind reducing the population of Africa? It's because they said, and I quote, that in Africa, we do not appear anywhere in the global economy. We have nothing to bring on the table in the global economy. So what is the need? What is the need of having a big population in Africa? What is the need? You see, so somebody is planning to kill a life. Somebody is planning to reduce the population of your family, as if they're the ones feeding you, as if we are on social media asking for help from those very people. So I listened and I was asking myself, why is Africa being hated so much to that extent? Somebody on the podcast is saying that Africa does not appear anywhere in a global economic market. It doesn't appear anywhere. We bring nothing on the table in the global economy. We have nothing. And I was asking myself, where do they mine gold? Congo. Why are they still stuck in South Africa? They don't want to leave Africa. Why can't you just go to your country then? Why can't you just leave Africa alone? Okay, that's not what we are talking about. Now, coming back to Kenya, though, those are some of the factors that leads to the poverty of Africa. Those are very reasons as to why Kenya today, young people are in the streets and are asking the government, could you please easen our lives? Could you please give us some peace to grow something? Could you, the government, Mr. President, could you please listen to our voices? Could you please? And the people are in the streets begging the people who represents them. The people are supposed to represent the grievances of the people. Now we are the ones begging them. What is the need of having these leaders when they cannot represent our views? What is the need? What is the problem? Rich are planning to get more richer. Poor getting much poorer. And the scene is sharing right from UK. He's saying, you know what? The government is turning into something to do with the dictatorship. And nowadays, dictatorship is not like the one that we had in the past, Akina Hitler, Akina the Museveni's. It's not like the one, used to have George Bush, other leaders who used to be very powerful and used to dictate, to be dictators of his country, of Moise, who used to be a dictator. Nowadays, the kind of dictatorship they are portraying is is an indirect kind of dictatorship. Because they will tell you, we are actually considering, and we have heard your cries, and we are going to do something. That's what they say. No, we have listened. We will consider and find a way to reduce the fuel prices. And so we are also going to deal with the cartels who are making lives very hard. And the citizens will like, okay, please do. But the people who are talking about cartels, they are themselves cartels. You cry, nobody listens, nobody cares. People are killed somewhere, the government, security, who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. And it is happening. That's the kind of dictatorship that we have. You speak and nobody listens. And when we want to take you out of power, you play the games. And we definitely citizens lose. And you continue reigning. You continue ruling instead of leading. Only people have no hope, have no security, Young people, no hope. Women, they have no security at all. So what have we turned this country into? And what can we do? How can we grow this country? What can we do? Young people are in the streets. Nobody listens to it. What can we do then? Must we destroy properties for leaders to listen? Must young people die for you to listen? Leaders, when you are gone, you are going to leave this country devastated. When the President William Ruto's government took power, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua made a very serious statement, and he said, and I quote, that we have inherited a government which its coffers are empty. There's no money to run the government. The previous government, when it was still in tenure, the people were complaining. People spoke Eurobond. People spoke loans. IMF was on our neck. People spoke, people cried. Who listened? Somebody, a leader, a national leader, stands and gives a silly statement, it is not me who has brought conflict between those countries that are fighting, but it is you who is supposed to provide solutions to your country's problem. That's why we have entrusted you with the leadership. You do nothing. And now the government that has taken over is still making wrong decisions. When you leave, another government comes in, says, you know what, we inherited a government that was confused, and therefore you need to give us time to put ourselves together. So they will have around 1 or 2 years trying to put themselves together. So now we're going to have a government that serves the interests of the people right from the moment they take power. How? How will you have the government that serves the interests of the people when any government that comes in, we have inherited a government that is confused. So give us time to put some things together, to amend some things. How are we going to put ourselves together? Ladies and gentlemen, as Kenyans, we are tired. Let's be honest. Hata kama tuna smile, hata kama tunafanya nini. And that's why you see people are forced to get into prostitution. People are forced to get into drugs. Because after all, it doesn't make sense mimi kuishi, naishi kufanya. Naishi nikidu nini. It's not making sense. Beautiful English, no development. What is development? The people. People is development. When people grow, the country grows. You have a beautiful buildings, devastated people. And making sense. It is the people. If we empower the people, we empower the nation. If we empower the people, people will build those houses. If the people are empowered, they'll build those roads. But when people are depressed, so what can you do with them? How can depressed people build a country? It's very impossible. And who causes the depression? The leaders, the churches, the education system. Who has power to control these things? The president. What is the president doing? On the podium. Doing what? Giving people hope. Let the church give people hope. And let the government deal with real issues. Coming right back, so far, when you maandamano imefika wapi? Maandamano in the CBD. You see, Dubai. Yeah, CBD ni kubaya. CBD ni kubaya.
Na mtazamaji, mambo yanazidi kuchemka tena zaidi kule jijini Nairobi. Na kama uko kwenye hayo maneno, mtazamaji wangu, usiku wa leo wengine huenda wakaumia kwenye haya maandamano, kwa sababu haya maandamano,
you can see the CBD. You can see.
Nadhani kunaenda kukiwa kunatulia, kumbe kunaenda hivyo mambo inawaka mara moja.
Yeah.
So hapa hivi mali tuko, we have to stand by looking at each side.
Maana polisi wamewekwa pale CBD. Kama uko CBD Nairobi ni kubaya. Sawa? Kama uko CBD kubaya. See how the streets are. Ndo kuko hapo ni CBD. Maeneo mengine ni kama wapi? Let me see other areas.
Hadi mji wa Juja, huku tunaungana na habari yetu Laban Shaban.
Juja, unasikia habari za Juja?
Naye atuchore taswira kamili iko vipi kaunti ya Nairobi, moja kaunti ambayo imeathirika sana na
Bongo Samamia kuongea na
Juja pia, Juja ni kubaya. Ndio Juja huko Githurai, ukienda huko kote ni kubaya.
Mwingi sana polisi ambao hawajafika hata 10 hapa wanakabiliana na ni waite waandamanaji ambao wanapinga kupanda kwa bei ya mafuta.
Yeah. So sad. Baya sana. Yaani leo mgomo ni all the way, kwe ni wa Nduthi, kwe ni wa maandamano, mgomo ni wa kila mtu. Watu wa Nduthi wote, nobody is coming out. Watu wa tuk-tuk, watu wa magari wote, nobody ataenda mahali. Yeah, watu wamegoma, and young people right now wameingia kwa streets. Most areas by the way. Nimeona hapo nini Githurai 45. Kuna jamaa alikuwa anapita pale na gari yake na kiburi yake. Gari yake ishachomwa tayari. Pale nini? Haya Githurai. Hapo kwa roundabout. Jamaa anapita na kiburi pale. Gari yake iliwekwa moto mara hiyo. Gari yake iliweka moto. So tuache kiburi by the way. Acha kiburi. Kama uko na gari yako acha kiburi. Yeah. Ndio. Tuache kiburi kabisa. Most areas Kiambu niliona bado kule ni kubaya. Kitengela ni kubaya. Hebu nione maeneo ya Kitengela kuko namna gani Kitengela. Hebu tuone Kitengela kuko aje. Kitengela. Fuel prices promised. Kitengela kuko aje. Yeah, Kitengela pia ni kubaya. Let me get it right here. Shoot. Kitengela, situation ni Kitengela. Wana bado wanataka kuchoma taya pale, wanajiandaa Kitengela. Kitengela pia ni kubaya. So kama unatembea kuelekea maeneo ya Kitengela ujue pia ni kubaya. And it's a signal to the leaders concerned kwamba we are tired. Na ukiona mayouth wengi wanakaa kwa streets inamaanisha wengi hawana biashara na wengi hawana mwelekeo. Kwa nini? Mwelekeo seti akili hawana. Seti young people hawana akili, lakini sasa unajua unangangana mpaka inafika unasema bana. Sasa nangangana nini? Nangangana unapata vitu zinaenda zikienda tu mrama, vitu zinaenda zikiharibika tu. So kama unatembea maeneo ya Kitengela jua ni kubaya. Kama una travel ukielekea maeneo ya Githurai, Thika Super Highway, ukipitia hiyo njia ujue pia ni kubaya. Kama uko na gari, kama uko na Nduthi na unataka usalama, please stay home. Kama utokei kwa streets, stay kwa nyumba yako na utulie. Na ukiingia kwa streets, stories are one time, two time, toa kwa mdomo yako. We are talking about the high cost of living. High cost of living. Hiyo ndio kitu tunaongelea. So story ya one time or two time, toa kwa mdomo yako, and let us deal with real issues. Unaelewa? To communicate vizuri na gava. Na kama kuna taxes zimewekwa kwa mambo na mafuta, leaders, can you consider to lift those taxes, those levies, and from kwa mafuta, and let us lower the fuel prices, ndio vitu zingine ziweze kuendelea poa. I don't know kama maeneo ya Western kuna maandamano. Western Kenya. Let me see. Western Kenya protest. Let's see. Ruiru pia ni kubaya. Kawangware Kawangware ni kubaya pale. Western sijaona. Western like Waluya kule mnaandamana manyinyi, fuel prices mko sawa nao. Kisii sijapata report from Kisii. Luo, Nyanza, Kisumu sijapata habari kutoka pale. What other areas? Kikuyuni ni kubaya. Yeah. Kikuyuni ni kubaya. Kuelekea nje ya Muihoko, ukielekea Sagana nini hapo jichunge kabisa, sababu hakutakuwa kuzuri hapo. Unaweza ukaibiwa, unaweza ukanyanganywa, pia unaweza ukauawa. So unajua watu wakiwa wengi vitu, anything can happen. So please my people traveling to those areas, Rongai kuko aje? Rongai, let me see Rongai kuko namna gani? Rongai protest. I'm sorry. Maandamano one day transport paralyzed, of course, yes. Rongai sijaona, but it is a countrywide protest. Rongai huko kuna kuaga na vurugu sana, so I don't know kama bado ni kubaya ama kunaendaje. Homa Bay matatu strike. Homa Bay pia ni kubaya. Hakuna, yani country, ukienda country bus, wale watu wanasafiri kwenda Ushago, ukienda country bus no car, hakuna mtu pale. So kama unataka kusafiri, stay home, wenda tafuta siku ndo usafiri vizuri, otherwise kwa sahi inaweza kuwa ni kubaya sana, unaweza ukaumia. Gari zimepakiwa kwa petrol station pale, zimetulia, no traveling, nothing is going on, so jichunge kabisa, unaelewa? Ya moto zinawaka Kiambu. Kiambu shut down, ni kubaya. This is not about Gen Z protest. Mtu asiita Gen Z protest, hapana. This is about everybody. Kwani Gen Z ndo wanaumia peke yake? This is for everybody. Unaelewa? Town ni kubaya. Thika Road, nakwambia ni kubaya, so don't go to those places. So young people, this is the message I have for the young people as I end this session. Sisi kama vijana, na kila mtu ambaye anasikiza hii video, I'm speaking in Swahili ndio tuelewane, kwamba tusikue sisi ndio tunapigana wenyewe kwa wenyewe. It is citizen versus the government. It's not citizen versus citizen. Mtu akisema 1 term 2 term, maisha tunaumia si wote, unaelewa? So 1 term talk kwa mdomo. The issue is high cost of living. Na ukiangalia, it's caused by the government officials who are serving their own interest in the government. So usijipate kwa situation where you want to destroy properties, where you want to get into break into supermarket uibe, wala kuibia mwenzako simu. Unaona, kuna watu kuna hiyo tabia, tunakemea hiyo tabia, na unasema kwamba wewe sasa ukipata piga hata risasi, because unaua ama unataka kuibia kijana mwenzako. How is that making sense? Don't go to the streets to steal. That is, we have one intention for us to succeed. If we have divided intention, then we cannot succeed. Young people, please get in the streets with the one intention. Hata mimi nataka kutoka sasa hivi niende kwa streets. One intention. Not route must go, but high cost of living. Mafuta ishuke, vitu zingine zishuke. That is one intention. If you have divided intention, you'll succeed. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you, and be blessed. Take your face off for those ones who are joining Mandamano, and I really wish that we win. See you there.